Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some more technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, because as you guys can see, Bitcoin has had a crash, and I've been warning about a crash on Bitcoin for the last couple of days because Bitcoin has gone absolutely parabolic. After Bitcoin broke above 6K, Bitcoin went straight to the moon, all the way up to a recent high of around $8,400. Currently, Bitcoin is trading around $7,100, down around 15% from where that high was. And it turns out that last night, I was sitting here watching the charts, and I was just about to go to sleep, and I managed to catch the pullback that started this downtrend on camera. So we're going to have a time lapse of that here in just a second. But guys, in today's video, I want to discuss exactly what's going on here, why Bitcoin is having a pullback of this caliber, and where we think Bitcoin is going to head from here. Why did Bitcoin have this pullback? What are we going to see Bitcoin do in the future? I think those are two of the most important questions that are on your guys' mind. So that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. There is going to be a little bit more further ado before we get on into it, because I do want to run that time lapse. So I'm going to cut on over to that footage, and I'm going to do a little bit of commentary over that time lapse so that you guys can see exactly what happened last night. I think that'd be interesting. I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Hey guys, what's going on? Sleepy Jeb here, and I figured I want to bring you in for this. I'm recording this at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. That is my Facebook going off. Sorry for the informality, but I figured I'd want to catch what's going on here. I was happening to look at the charts right before I went to bed, and it looks like Bitcoin's jumping off a cliff. So you're probably going to see this mixed in somewhere else with the rest. Excuse my Facebook, I'm in the middle of a conversation. You're probably going to see this mixed in with the rest of today's video. So if you guys do see this, here's the footage. I'm going to go ahead and let this run and have a time lapse for you guys in case I decide to use it. Anyway, guys, back to the video. Alright, well I haven't recorded that time lapse yet, so hopefully I said something snarky or witty or intelligent or otherwise something that made me look good. I hope you guys did enjoy that time lapse. Tell me in the comment section down below if you'd like to see that type of thing again in the future. If I catch these moves on camera, I will definitely record them and try to live stream them. But for now, I do want to mention one more thing before we get on into the video, and that is, of course, guys, that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. We've had over 50 of you guys join in the last 4 days. Actually, in the last 3 days. The sale hasn't even been running 4 days yet, I don't think. I don't know how to do time, but you guys seem to be absolutely loving the course. Literally dozens of you have been going through this. We're getting close to having 400 members in CT2A, guys. Like I said, we've never had a single refund. Never once has one even been requested. So guys, that is what we're talking about. We'll be discussing more of that later on at the end of the video, but for now, I want to go ahead and dive on into the Bitcoin technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading around $7,100, and as you guys saw in that time lapse, Bitcoin jumped off a cliff relatively quickly. If we come back in here to the minute chart and look back in time here, what we're going to find is that Bitcoin fell very, very quickly. And we actually managed to do a live stream on this last night. I recorded for about an hour, and I talked with you guys. And one thing that some of you pointed out is that Bitcoin fell very, very quickly. The bears definitely took over. And then, of course, we were going to see a bounce, but the bounce did not recover us to our recent highs. I've talked about in the past how sometimes when you see a consolidation pattern be broken, that is a moment of clairvoyance, and you can get a good understanding of who's stronger, the bulls or the bears. In this case, for example, it'd be the bulls. But one thing I want to point out in this case is that Bitcoin fell off a cliff, went down, found support, and didn't return all the way back up to where it once started, which meant that the bears are stronger than the bulls. This is another way that you can get insight onto who's stronger, the bulls or the bears, and that's what we discuss in gauging the strength of the bulls and the bears. That's a very important concept that you guys need to know, how to understand which faction in the market is stronger. Is it the bulls or is it the bears? That's a very important topic. Excuse me, Hubert, my duck is quacking. You guys have been asking about him. He's doing well, in case you were wondering. This is another time where you can see something like this happen is where Bitcoin bounces bullish and then breaks bearish. And that's another time where you can see how strong the bulls and the bears are. And I think we can all agree that certainly the bears seem to be more strong at the moment. And of course, that was bound to happen. One thing that some people pointed out in the live stream last night was that, of course, after Bitcoin jumped off the cliff, went cliff diving like this, of course we were going to have some kind of bounce. Just because we bounced does not mean that the bulls are still in control. All it means is that people bought the dip and they made a lot of money doing this. Like I said, we watched all this happen live. I got that on recording. You guys saw that last night. Very interesting. I hope you guys did enjoy that. But I do want to point one thing out. Plazbot in the live stream last night, who actually was the one who got me to do the live stream. Shout out to him. He was talking to me. We were talking with each other on the Discord server last night. And he said, "Yo, Jeb, you should try doing a live stream again." And I haven't been able to for a long time because of my internet, but I tried again anyway, and I'm very glad we did. He pointed out the 20 exponential moving average here on the daily chart. And of course, I would have found this in my own TA, but he did point this out. As we can see here, Bitcoin on a wick came down to the 20 exponential moving average. That is a very important moving average. I know we've had a lot of new subscribers lately, but that is such an important moving average that I have an entire video dedicated to it in the course on the 20 EMA. That is a very important moving average, and the reason it's a very important exponential moving average is because this is a moving average that you can use to determine when Bitcoin is in an uptrend or when Bitcoin is in a downtrend, when it's in a rally or when it's in a crash. Bitcoin has been above this 20 exponential moving average for a very long time here. Ever since we got above it back in February the 8th, Bitcoin has been on a rally. And during that rally, Bitcoin has run 150% from the absolute low to the absolute high. Gigantic rally. This moving average is the one that I always use to determine if Bitcoin is in a bull market, not in a bull market, a rally or a downtrend. And Bitcoin, at the moment anyway, has come down and tested that as support. Interesting stuff. One thing that someone else pointed out in the Discord server, in the live stream last night, was that in fact what Bitcoin looks like right now is the beginnings of a head and shoulders pattern. This could potentially be bad, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world or anything. It's not going to be the end of the bull market. But as we can see, we have a shoulder there. We have a very fat head in this live stream last night. I believe I said this looks like Homer Simpson or Bart Simpson. It's a Bart Simpson head and shoulders. That's what it is. We have our Bart up here, and then maybe we'll have another shoulder over here. But if Bitcoin did come down to what the neckline would be of around $6,800, as it looks like it's trending towards, bounced up to around $7,400, and then moved down to 6K, that would be a head and shoulders pattern, and be a pretty good looking one also. That'd be very handsome, be very dashing, and it wouldn't be a good thing. And the reason it wouldn't be a good thing is because if we do have a neckline at $6,800 and we had our top all the way up here at $8,400, well guys, that's going to push us down to $6,000 and maybe lower. I don't think we're going to go below $6,000, but that's a scenario that we want to keep an eye on, is what happens if Bitcoin does complete this head and shoulders pattern and moves down towards 6K. Guys, I want to talk about that $6,000 thing a little bit more, and then we're going to move on into some other topics. But do watch out for this developing. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated on this potential head and shoulders pattern, because that could push us all the way down to $6,000. Let me tell you one thing, and that is that I hope Bitcoin goes to $6,000. I hope Bitcoin crashes through the floor. I hope Bitcoin tanks. Whatever word you want to use, I hope Bitcoin falls. And a lot of you guys being new to the channel have not heard me say that before, but a lot of times I'll say, I want Bitcoin to crash. I want Bitcoin to fall. I want Bitcoin to jump off a cliff. I want Bitcoin to dive. I want Bitcoin to go down to $100. And why do I want to do that? Because I'm a long-term trader. I'm an investor, and I'm a very selfish one at that. I want to see Bitcoin crash because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just get as much Bitcoin as I can get my grubby little hands on. I'm going to accumulate it all. I'm going to put it in my wallets, and I'm going to look at it every night before I go to bed because I love it. It's so pretty. It's beautiful. And I promise I'm joking. I don't actually do that. At least I'm not going to tell you I do. But I do want to see Bitcoin go to the downside. I'd be very happy to see Bitcoin go down to $6,000, guys. If we go below 6K, yeah, the bull market might be in jeopardy. I really don't think we're going to, though. I think if Bitcoin does anything here bearish, it's going to go somewhere between $6,800 and $6,000, and this is going to be a prime time to be buying Bitcoin. You guys know I'm going to be loading my bags up down there. I'm loading my bags up a little bit right now, but I think there's a decent chance that we see a little bit more bearishness, so I'm really just sticking with my dollar cost averaging at the moment. Guys, I would love to see Bitcoin go down to $6,000, and you should too, because a bull market has just started. I think we can all agree that Bitcoin is going to do crazy things in this bull market. Bitcoin is going to rally. Bitcoin is going to go very, very high to all-time high and beyond. Well, I think we can all agree that something like that is going to happen. I can tell you from my YouTube statistics that many, many new people are flooding into the market. I was curious about that a couple days ago. I'm no longer. There are plenty of new people coming into the market. The fundamentals are doing great. Bitcoin is not in jeopardy. We've had a little pullback. That kind of thing happens. It's nothing to be concerned about. What we should be concerned about is getting as much Bitcoin as we possibly can for the impending bull market so that we can then make as much money as we possibly can when Bitcoin does return to all-time high and does decide to go even higher. So guys, I think that you should join my side and want Bitcoin to crash down to 6K so we can buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. Because if we go down there, you better believe your bottom dollar that people are going to be buying as much as they can possibly get. And $6,000 will be one of the strongest levels of support in the history of the cryptocurrency market. Now, once again, $6,000 was also one of the major levels of resistance in the history of Bitcoin. It was honestly one of the strongest ones, but it's going to be broken a lot easier than it is going to be broken as support. It was easy to break this as resistance because everyone was hyped up about a bull market. But because everyone's hyped up about a bull market, no one wants Bitcoin to go below 6K, and everyone thinks it's going to bounce. Therefore, they're going to be buying down here. So Bitcoin's level of $6,000 will act as a stronger level of support than it did as a level of resistance, simply because of the market sentiment. That's why we talk about stuff like this in CT2A. Market sentiment, gauging the strength of support and resistance, gauging the strength of the bulls and the bears. These are important concepts that you guys need to know that I don't see anybody talking about. Nobody talks about this. It's so important. If someone does, tell me in the comment section down below. I don't want to throw shade where it's not required. Bitcoin is a very interesting market. It moves in very complex ways, but also not very complex if you know what you're looking for. But anyway, guys, I've been rambling for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and cover a couple more technical indicators, and then we're going to wrap up the video with a recap. I do want to point out as to what, I do want to remind you guys of what we talked about in yesterday's video, that being that RSI divergence. If you go back to yesterday's video, you will see me talking about that level right there where we see Bitcoin slightly trending to the upside, and actually I called this flat because it more or less is. But what you saw here on the RSI is that instead of the RSI having new higher tops, we actually had lower tops. This is called RSI divergence if you draw this flat, and it's called classical RSI divergence if you draw this as an uptrend. Either way, it's bearish for Bitcoin, and it does call for a downtrend. That's why I was warning of one in yesterday's video. I was saying that it's very possible that Bitcoin has some kind of pullback following this RSI divergence. A similar thing shows up on the 4-hourly as well. Bitcoin has about a flat top right there, but we also have a downtrend on the RSI right there. And likewise, before that, we had an uptrend right here. And then we also had a downtrend on the RSI. RSI divergence is a very powerful technical indicator. It's almost always going to be right unless something's overriding it. We saw some RSI divergence about 2 or 3 weeks ago that got ignored. But guys, that was because we were starting a Bitcoin bull market. Sometimes the technical indicators are going to get ignored for a time when you see something that exuberant happening. Again, that's why we talk about this kind of stuff in CT2A. We have an entire video on RSI divergence. Very, very important stuff. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and look at the minute chart and then we'll wrap the video up. Because what I want to talk about here on the minute chart has to do with how Bitcoin is actually moving when I'm recording this video. As you guys can see, Bitcoin did have a bounce last night. It came all the way down to $6,600, bounced all the way up to $7,400, and we tested this level of resistance at $7,400 quite well. If you remember back to the time lapse, this level of resistance and support was actually on the chart before Bitcoin even broke it. It's very interesting that I had that on the chart, and that's exactly where Bitcoin has been topping out. I always love when technical analysis goes that right. But what we've seen here in the last couple of hours is that Bitcoin has been falling all the way down from where it was around $7,300 to a recent low of $6,800. That's a very important level down there at 68 flat. Bitcoin had a little bounce here, but it's moving to the downside again, guys. This is what I'm concerned about and why I'm thinking that 6K might be in the cards. Bitcoin will fall, have a bounce, and it won't go back up to where it was, and then it'll fall over even more, bounce, and it won't go back up to where it was, and then it'll fall, and then it'll bounce, and then it won't go back up to where it was, and then I'll say that in a really funny voice 20 more times, and then Bitcoin will be trading at $6,000, and we'll all be singing Kumbaya because we can buy even more Bitcoin. That was a bit of a rant. Either way, guys, that's what we're looking at. I think Bitcoin is looking more bearish than bullish now. I think the rally, at least for the short term, is over. That doesn't mean the bull market's over. That doesn't mean a bullish case for 2019 is out of the cards. I think Bitcoin is still going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. I still think 2019 is going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. I don't think that we have to worry about a Bitcoin bull market ending. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I really don't think I am, though, guys. There's nothing to worry about here yet. Maybe in the future there is. At the moment anyway, this is just a healthy correction, something that Bitcoin needed before the bulls can take over again. All we really need, guys, we're in a bull market now. All we really need is one simple bullish news story. Everybody's going to start buying their Bitcoin. Let Bitcoin come down here, bottom out for a couple days. Let the bears get exhausted. Let the bears forget what they were fighting for, and the bulls will come back. I think we're going to do fine. I don't think the Bitcoin bear market is over. I think everything is going to be perfectly okay, and I think that we're at the beginning of something really great that we're going to see developing here for the next couple of years. With all that said, guys, I do think we're going to see something absolutely amazing here over the next couple of years. I've already seen a ton of growth in the YouTube channel, so we're seeing a lot of people join the cryptocurrency market. A lot of you guys, tell me in the comment section down below, I think are either newer to the cryptocurrency space or you've been dormant for a while and you decide to come back out of the woodwork and rejoin the cryptocurrency space because you're hearing talk of bull market. Bitcoin is entering a bull market. 2019, 2020, probably even on into 2021. These are going to be very bullish years for Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency market. And guys, there is a lot of money to be made here. There is a ton of money to be made here. And that is why I made the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. I launched it on September 23rd of 2018. And I made this course specifically when I did because I wanted to have time to prepare it, gather data, get testimonials, get you guys ready for a Bitcoin bull market. This entire course is designed specifically to teach people who are newer into the space or already have a good amount of experience, get up to a much more advanced level where you can do technical analysis on your own without having to run to YouTube and watch 10 different YouTubers and be sent in 10 different directions and make 10 different calls every single day. That's the entire reason I made this. I want you guys to know how to do technical analysis to make me obsolete. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. I want you guys to learn how to do this. Of course, I still want you to watch the videos because sometimes you're going to miss technical indicators. Sometimes you're not going to see some technical analysis. Sometimes you just want someone else's take on it. But at the same time, I want you guys to be able to do your own technical analysis. I don't want you to have to run to YouTube to figure out what's going on in the market because I see a lot of people doing that. They say, in the comment section, I come to you every day and then I do what you say or I make trades based off of your calls. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to make a trade just because I said something's going to happen in the market. That makes me feel absolutely terrible because I'm not right all the time. I make mistakes and so does everyone else, especially here on YouTube. Not especially, but it's just more obvious. That's the entire reason I made this course, guys, is so that you guys would have a resource where you could go and learn how to do this technical analysis, where you could go and learn how to read these markets and then learn how to trade and invest in these markets so you can make as much money as you possibly can when the next Bitcoin bull market starts. That's the entire reason this is here, guys. And I'm running a sale on it right now. We hit 20,000 subscribers like 4 or 5 days ago. We're already close to 22,000 subscribers because so many of you guys are coming out of the woodwork. Welcome each and every single one of you. We're glad to have you. But if you use the coupon code 20K2019, you'll get 20% off the course price. I do love that number 20, the 20 exponential moving average being another one of them. If you use that coupon code, you get 20% off the course price. Like I've said in many videos, guys, I do believe this is the best course with the price on the market right now. There are some courses out there that run a lot of money. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say any prices. But you might be able to pick up on what I'm dropping that have a lot less content than this. We have 10 hours of content going over everything you need to know to become an early advanced technical analyst. We're going to have a lot more advanced concepts coming out in the future. We do have more videos coming out later this month. If you buy into the course, you get every single current video and every single future video not for free, but you get it forever. You don't have to pay for new videos that come out. Those will be uploaded to the course and you will get access to them. Anyway, guys, that's basically what we wanted to discuss in today's video. Like I said, we've had like 50 people join in the last 4 or 5 days. It's absolutely absurd. If I remember while I'm editing this, I'll flash it up on screen. If I don't, yell at me in the comment section down below and I'll put it in the community tab. We've had a ton of people join. We've had nearly 400 people go through the course now. Not a single one of them has ever wanted a refund. That tells you something right there. I've never had a single one of them. I have a screenshot where I show you guys we've never had a single refund despite our refund policy where if you shoot me an email and say, yo, Jeb, I want a refund, boom, you got it. Not that hard. No questions asked, refund guarantee. Guys, that's basically going to do it for today's video. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis, if you want to learn how to work in these markets, if you are looking for a place to start, I highly recommend CT2A. The link is in the description down below. It's going to cost you a lot less to go through the course than it is to spend thousands of hours and thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours to learn this content on your own through doing your technical analysis when you may not know everything that's in that course. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Tell me in the comment section down below what you think of the thumbnail. Yes, of the thumbnail, Jeb. The thumbnail's not even made yet, so I don't know how I could ask about that. Tell me in the comment section down below what you think of that time lapse, and also tell me where you think Bitcoin is headed here over these next couple of days. Do you think we're going to pull all the way back down to $6,000? Do you think we're going to bounce off that 20 exponential moving average, which is sitting right here somewhere? What do you think is going to happen? I love reading your comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say, as always. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.